Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins main eventing WWE WrestleMania 41. Roman Reigns replaces Solo Sikoa as the leader of the new Bloodline. Uncle Howdy unveils a shocking new sister Abigail. Stone Cold Steve Austin regrets his WWE WrestleMania 38 match. Rhea Ripley is sorry after Raw Chaos. Sami Zayn breaks silence amid his uncertain WrestleMania 41 status. Triple H threw a top name out of a WrestleMania hotel. Jey Uso gets a new nickname. Let's dive right in. Roman Reigns replaces Solo Sikoa as the leader of the new Bloodline. This Friday, WWE SmackDown rolls into Barcelona, Spain, kicking off the European tour on the wild road to WrestleMania 41. The Blue Brands got a stacked show lined up, a special Miz TV with Cody Rhodes as the guest, and a WWE Tag Team Championship match ready to steal the spotlight. Number 1, The Miz stabs Cody Rhodes in the back for The Rock. Miz TV always ends in a mess. It's practically tradition. This time, The Miz might just jump Cody Rhodes, the undisputed WWE champion, and reveal he's teamed up with The Rock. The A-lister's been dropping hints about joining the Great One's crew for a while now. With Logan Paul and Grayson Waller already kissing the final boss's boots, The Miz could try to win some points by taking out the American Nightmare right there on live TV. Number 2, Tag Team Gold slips away to new champs. Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa are putting their WWE Tag Team titles on the line against the Street Profits this week. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins have been lighting up SmackDown's tag division lately, and the crowd's buzzing about it. That energy might just carry them to a big win in Barcelona, crowning them the new champs. With WrestleMania 41 creeping closer, a title switch like this could shake things up and get everyone talking about the tag belts. Number 3, Bianca Belair flips to the dark side. This week on Raw, Sky, the Women's World Champion, slapped Bianca Belair hard after a heated argument got physical. The EST and Rhea Ripley had shoved the genius of the Sky, and she fired back, smacking both of them. Since Sky's the good guy here, the creative team might twist things up by turning Bianca into a villain. Imagine it. On SmackDown, Bianca snaps, setting the stage for a classic hero versus heel showdown at WrestleMania 41. Number 4, Nick Aldis locks Kevin Owens out of Randy Orton's fight. Randy Orton and Kevin Owens are on a crash course for WrestleMania 41, but this Friday, the Vipers got Carmelo Hayes in a one-on-one match. To keep things clean, SmackDown's general manager Nick Aldis might ban Owens from showing up at ringside. It's a smart move. Lets Orton and Melo finish their business without chaos. Plus, after the prize fighter got ambushed by Randy at Elimination Chamber, Toronto, Aldis knows Owens is itching for payback, so keeping him out makes sense. Number 5, Roman Reigns kicks Solo Sikoa out and takes over the new Bloodline. Lately, Solo Sikoa's grip on the new Bloodline has been slipping. Something's off in that crew. Whispers are flying that Solo's days as leader might be numbered, and who better to step in than Roman Reigns? The only tribal chief stormed back on the latest Raw, smashing CM Punk and Seth Rollins, his possible WrestleMania foes. With the Ula Fala still around his neck, Roman's the real boss of this family. On SmackDown, he could show up, fire Solo on the spot, and take charge of the new Bloodline himself, cementing his power like never before. Uncle Howdy unveils a shocking new sister Abigail. Uncle Howdy and his creepy crew, the Wyatt Six, haven't stepped foot on WWE SmackDown yet. But lately, little clues have been popping up during Alexa Bliss's moments on the show. Hints that this spooky gang is about to crash the Blue Brand. With WrestleMania 41 getting closer, Uncle Howdy might finally show up and drop a bombshell. Alexa Bliss is the new sister Abigail of the Wyatt Six. Since Bliss came back at Royal Rumble 2025, everyone's been buzzing about her joining this horror story. One way it could go down is Howdy storming SmackDown, facing off with the goddess, and revealing she's part of his twisted family. He could crown her as the latest Sister Abigail right then and there, pulling her deep into the group. Fans have seen the 33-year-old star cross paths with Uncle Howdy before, so this feels like it's been brewing for a while. All these signs on SmackDown make it seem like it's only a matter of time. Handing Alexa the Sister Abigail role would lock her in as a key player in this eerie faction. Down the road, it might even set her up to take over, kicking Uncle Howdy out of the driver's seat. Right now, Nikki Cross seems to be filling that Sister Abigail spot, but things could shift fast. The next few weeks are going to be wild. Will Alexa team up with the Masked Man, or will she fight back against him and the Wyatt Six? Word's getting around that WWE's got something huge planned for Howdy and Bliss at WrestleMania 41. That scoop came out during the latest live Q&A on Sportskeeda Wrestle Binge, where insiders said Triple H has a massive storyline cooking for the former SmackDown Women's Champion. I don't know what exactly is going to happen, except that I've heard she will be planned in some major angle there. Something will happen at WrestleMania that will blow open what she's doing. This pretty much guarantees we'll see Bliss and Uncle Howdy side by side at this year's showcase of the Immortals. But will it be a quick moment, or are they headed for a full-on clash at Mania? No one's sure yet, but it's going to be big. Stone Cold. Steve Austin regrets his WWE WrestleMania 38 match. Stone Cold Steve Austin's been thinking hard about his big WWE comeback at WrestleMania 38. He opened up about the one thing he'd change from that night. The Rattlesnake went toe-to-toe with Kevin Owens in a brutal no-holds-barred match to close out Night 1, nailing a stunner to win his first fight in 19 years. The wrestling icon proved he could still rattle the ring, but in a recent chat with The Takedown on SI, Austin admitted he didn't enjoy it as much as he could have. And when I went out there, I think I couldn't hear the crowd as much as I wanted to. When I watched it back, the crowd was into it. It was very, very loud, yes, but I wish I would have taken more time, savored more moments, and worked the people a little bit more than I did. I think I was in a space of not knowing what I had and trying to be a little too frantic. I could have slowed down drastically and made that better, and I wish that I would have. I haven't told too many people that, but I told you, said Austin. The Texas Rattlesnake is a legend, one of the biggest names wrestling's ever seen. His 2022 return was a total shock. No one saw it coming. In that same SI interview, Austin spilled that WWE didn't even give him a practice ring to get ready, and it threw him off big time. I was happy in a moment, but, they didn't send me a ring down. I didn't have any timing. I think they interviewed Triple H, The Undertaker, and Hogan. Each one of them said something that was so true. Paul said, "You can come back, but you don't know what you have because you haven't been out there." Undertaker said, "You're not going to have any timing." He was right. I didn't have any timing. Hell, I hadn't hit a set of ropes in 19 years. Hadn't thrown a punch in 19 years. Austin's kicking himself for rushing through it instead of soaking in the roar of the fans who still chant his name. Rhea Ripley is sorry after Raw chaos. Rhea Ripley's in hot water and just said, sorry. It all kicked off after she got called out. On this week's Raw, Rhea and Bianca Belair couldn't keep their hands off each other. They crashed Sky's big moment. The new Women's World Champion was hyping up her win over Ripley when the two barged in. Rhea's still mad, blaming Bianca for messing up her title reign, and they've been going at it ever since. They even shoved Sky aside like she was nothing, which finally made the champ snap. She slapped Rhea right across the face, stunned her, then turned and punched Bianca to the mat. Since then, Rhea and Bianca have been trading jabs online, and Sky's had enough of their nonsense. Things have been rocky between Rhea and Bianca, who used to be tight. Now, Rhea's feeling guilty and dropped an apology. The vibe's been off between them, and her words show she's trying to cool things down. She might have rolled her eyes a bit in the apology, but deep down, it seems real, especially since she and Sky go way back as friends. Sky was genuinely ticked off on Raw, and Rhea's probably trying to fix that too. Even if her tone's a little sassy, she's likely worried about where she stands with Sky. Sorry, Mum, Ripley wrote. With Bianca gearing up to face Sky at WrestleMania, everyone's wondering if Rhea's going to jump into that fight too. Both have a score to settle, and their beef's heating up fast. Meanwhile, Sky's sick of being treated like a ghost despite wearing the gold. She made that loud and clear on Raw. Now, Adam Pearce has a tough call to make. Book a match with all three. The fans are hooked on this messy, thrilling story, and these stars have the crowd eating out of their hands. Sami Zayn breaks silence amid his uncertain WrestleMania 41 status. Sami Zayn, one of WWE's toughest fighters, finally broke his silence on social media, with his WrestleMania 41 fate still up in the air. The former Intercontinental Champion hasn't been on TV since his brutal showdown at Elimination Chamber. That night, Sami and Kevin Owens tore into each other like wild animals, trading nasty moves in a match that had the crowd roaring. Owens came out on top, but he wasn't done. He tried to end Sami's career with a vicious package piledriver on the concrete floor. Right then, Randy Orton stormed back, stopping KO cold. Now, everyone's betting on the Viper taking on Owens at WrestleMania 41, and that might shove Sami right out of the spotlight. Last week on Raw, Michael Cole dropped the news that Sami's banged up bad from Elimination Chamber and could be gone for who knows how long, leaving his spot at this year's big show a total mystery. With all this uncertainty swirling around his WrestleMania 41 plans, Sami popped up on his Instagram stories. He didn't talk wrestling though. Instead, he got excited about the Netflix series MO, pushing fans to check out Season 2. Watch this show on Netflix now, he wrote. Over on Sportskeeda Wrestling's The Wrestling Time Machine, host Mac Davis and wrestling vet Bill Apter chewed over the situation. Apter's pumped to see Randy Orton and Kevin Owens throw down heading into WrestleMania 41. He called them two of the wildest, most unpredictable guys in the game and said their clash is going to be a blast. But then he scratched his head, wondering what's next for Sami. Apter's convinced Sami needs to get even with KO for that savage beatdown at Elimination Chamber. You got two of the hottest heads in wrestling, two of the most volatile personalities in this business, and to see the two of them against each other here is going to be great. But where does this leave Sami Zayn? I'm not really sure where this leaves Sami Zayn if it's going to be Orton and KO at WrestleMania, or even before that. Somehow Sami Zayn has got to get his comeuppance. I don't know what that's going to be at this point, he said. For now, Sami's keeping quiet about his next move, but the WWE Universe is on edge, waiting to see if he'll fight his way back into the WrestleMania picture. Triple H threw a top name out of a WrestleMania hotel. Triple H once kicked a big name out of a WrestleMania hotel, and the story's as crazy as it sounds. It all went down with YouTube star Joe Weller, who spilled the beans on Logan Paul's Impulsive podcast. He talked about how WWE's vibe toward YouTubers and streamers has flipped over the years. Back then, Paul Heyman, the mastermind behind Brock Lesnar, spotted Joe's viral swimming pool video and invited him to WrestleMania with a sweet deal. Stay at the WWE hotel and make some new content together. But Triple H wasn't having it. I went to a WrestleMania. Paul Heyman was like, I loved your video. That swimming pool one, he was like, come along, let's make another one, and I'll get you in at WrestleMania. You can stay in the WWE hotel. F King Triple H kicked me out. He was like, who's this effing YouTuber? Get out of here. They were so not open to the YouTube stuff back then. I think he was still wrestling, but it was very much like, who the FK's this YouTuber? There was no embracing of it back at that point, Joe said. Triple H, still stepping into the ring at the time, didn't care for some random internet guy crashing their world. He showed Joe the door. No questions asked. Back then, WWE wasn't about mixing with the YouTube crowd. They kept it old school, and Joe felt that hard. But the story didn't end there. Even after getting tossed out, Paul Heyman stuck to his word. He and Brock Lesnar cooked up a video with Joe, and the Beast himself threw in a little jab. But Paul Heyman got it, and we made a video. We made Brock Lesnar say, F you Joe, and it was sick, Joe added. Looking back, Joe reckons things would have played out way differently if WWE had the open mind they do now, 5 years later. Today, they're all about influencers and online stars. But back then, Triple H wasn't ready to let a YouTuber like Joe into the WrestleMania bubble until Heyman and Lesnar made it a moment anyway. Jey Uso gets a new nickname. Jey Uso's riding a wave of hype right now, gearing up for the fight of his life. He's set to take on Gunther for the World Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania 41 after outlasting everyone in this year's Men's Royal Rumble. The guy's already got a stack of nicknames. Yeet Master being the loudest, but it looks like his collection just grew. His dad, Rikishi, a WWE Hall of Famer, tossed out a new one recently. On Instagram, where he's always cheering on his kids, Rikishi posted a clip of Jey's Raw entrance this week. He called it Pure Magic and dubbed his son the Yeet Mania Man. Magical everyone is Yeet N, the Yeet Mania Man. Now the question is, will Yeet Mania carry Jey all the way? He's tangled with Gunther before and hasn't pinned him yet, so the heat's on this original Bloodline star to finally topple the ring general and snag that World Heavyweight title at WrestleMania 41. While Jey's chasing the big gold, his twin brother Jimmy's carving his own path on SmackDown. Lately, Jimmy's been stepping up, even knocking off Drew McIntyre. He doesn't have a clear WrestleMania 41 plan yet, but he's bound to land a spot on the card. Big Jim could jump into the United States Championship mix, maybe in a wild multi-man brawl for LA Knight's belt. Knight just won it last Friday on SmackDown, so it's fresh, but names like Carmelo Hayes and Andrade might crash that party too, turning it into a chaotic scramble. Will Jimmy walk out of Mania with the US title? That's still up in the air. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk versus Seth Rollins main eventing WWE WrestleMania 41. WrestleMania 41 is barreling toward us, and it's shaping up to be the monster event WWE fans crave every year. It's the next big premium live event on the calendar, and as always, it's the granddaddy of them all. We've already got some heavy hitters locked in. Tiffany Stratton squaring off with Charlotte Flair, Sky tangling with Bianca Belair, Jey Uso taking on Gunther, and John Cena throwing down with Cody Rhodes. But the rumor mill's buzzing about a clash that could top them all, a triple threat match with Roman Reigns, CM Punk, and Seth Rollins. Every year, fans argue over what should close the show, and with 2 nights to play with, there are options. This 3-way war, though, it's got every reason to headline one of those nights. Here's why. Roman Reigns is a giant in this game. When the only tribal chief steps into the picture, the air changes. WWE just feels bigger, louder, more alive. The fans lose their minds whether he's on the screen or strutting into the arena. CM Punk's no different. He's a lightning rod, pulling eyes and screams wherever he goes. Seth Rollins rounds it out, a star who's earned his stripes and then some. Put these 3 in one ring, and you've got a rare kind of magic. A one-on-one between any of them would sell out anywhere, but all 3 at once? That's a blockbuster on steroids. The main event of WrestleMania, the biggest night in wrestling, deserves the biggest names. Roman, Punk, and Rollins aren't just big, they're the definition of it. CM Punk's been grinding in this business forever. He was scrapping in the indie scene long before he hit WWE TV in 2006. 2 decades later, the voice of the voiceless has built a career that's headed straight for the Hall of Fame. He's snagged world titles, headlined huge shows, and even held tag gold. But one thing's always slipped through his fingers: a WrestleMania main event. That stung him bad enough to walk away from WWE over 10 years ago, a dream left unclaimed. Now he's back, and this could be his shot to finally stand in that spotlight. That story alone, Punk chasing his white whale, makes this match scream main event. Triple H would be crazy not to give him that moment. Last year, Punk was this close to getting there. Everyone thought he'd headline WrestleMania Saturday against Seth Rollins, a one-on-one that had fans buzzing. Then an injury hit, derailing the whole plan. Instead, Rollins ended up in a tag match, teaming with Cody Rhodes to take on Roman Reigns and The Rock. It was big, but it wasn't what Punk and Rollins had brewing. They got cheated out of their moment by bad luck. Now, with Roman thrown into the mix, it's a chance to right that wrong. They deserve that main event slot, and adding the tribal chief only makes it juicier. Then there's Roman Reigns. The guy's a WrestleMania machine. If Cody Rhodes is the top dog among the full-timers, Roman's the king of the part-time needle movers, maybe behind only The Rock and John Cena. He's a massive deal, no question. When it comes to Mania, nobody's got a resume like his. 9 main events, boosted by the 2-night format, but still unreal. It's basically a law of nature at this point. Roman Reigns, main events, WrestleMania. It's what he does. Sticking him anywhere but the top spot would feel off, like WWE breaking its own tradition. This triple threat has to close a night, so Roman's reign as the Mania King keeps rolling strong.